New photographs of Prince Louis have been released today. They mark his 4th birthday.
Stop scrolling for a moment. I just checked my...
The pictures were taken earlier this month by his mother, the Duchess of Cambridge, showing Louis, who's the youngest of William and Catherine's
inbox, and was surprised by what I found. Buckingham Palace just released a statement about
3 children enjoying a trip to the beach whilst on a family trip to Norfolk.
About Prince Louis. For months, people have wondered where he's been. Now they've explained why he hasn't been seen in public. The reason might shock you. This is a significant update about the royals, one of the biggest since Megxit. Stay tuned because I will share their statement word for word and explain what it means. You might be surprised. The disappearance timeline. Let's take a closer look at what has happened with Prince Louis. In June 2022, during the Platinum Jubilee, Prince Louis stole the show. He was on the balcony yelling during the flypast, making faces and dancing like he was at a party. The internet loved it. And he became the most famous 4-year-old overnight. A year later at Trooping the Colour 2023, he had the same wild energy. He was yawning, covering his ears, and sticking his tongue out at Kate. Everyone enjoyed it. On Christmas Day 2023, he walked to church, waving confidently. Now it gets strange. At Trooping the Colour 2024, which marked Kate's return after her chemo, the whole family was on the balcony. George, Charlotte, William, and a stunning Kate. But Louis was missing. No one explained why. Then during the 2024 Christmas walk, he was absent again. George and Charlotte were there, but no Louis. Even in the surprise photos Kate shared for Charlotte's 2025 birthday, only the 2 older kids were shown. Louis was gone. For over 18 months, this kid, who used to be the center of attention, has not been seen at major events. This isn't about him staying home because he was sick. This feels intentional. Just a moment ago, the palace finally explained why. But before I share the statement, I want you to see how everyone online reacted to this mystery. Louis' greatest hits, why we're obsessed. Before we dive into the recent news from the palace, let's remember why we all love Prince Louis so much. If you're new or need a reminder, he's not just any royal child. He brings the fun energy we all wish we had at family gatherings. Let's look back at the 4 key moments that made him a star. First, the Platinum Jubilee in June 2022. During the fly-past as jets flew overhead and everyone felt proud, 4-year-old Louis was on the balcony yelling at Kate, "Mom, and make it stop." Then he turned to the Queen and started making funny faces. Imagine that with a cartoon scream sound. That moment went viral, crashing Twitter and earning 400 million views across platforms. He broke the internet at just 4 years old. Second moment, the Jubilee pageant that same weekend. Bored in the royal box, he started dancing like he was at a festival, arms in the air, having a blast. Mike Tyndall even shushed him with a finger to his lips, and Louis just stared back at him, confused. I've watched that clip countless times, and it still makes me laugh. Third, Trooping in 2023. Louis stood next to Kate and cheekily stuck his tongue out at her for 5 seconds while she tried to look serious. Then he put his hand over her mouth as if to mute her. Kate's expression was a mix of disbelief and exasperation. That picture became a popular reaction image in 2023 and is still widely used. And then there was the coronation. He wore a crown and looked adorable for about 30 seconds, then spent the rest of the time making the funniest bored faces. At one point, he disappeared after falling asleep during the ceremony. A nap during the coronation, what a legend. Louis was more than just cute. He brought fun and a sense of realness to the royal family which has felt stiff for years. He showed us they could be relatable and human. And then suddenly he was gone. No more chaos on the balcony. No more funny moments with Kate. No more dancing while the other royals stood still. We didn't just miss a child. We lost the last bit of joy the monarchy had. So when the palace spoke today, it hit hard. The news they shared, it's darker than we all hoped. But before I share the statement, let's take a look at the wild theories online about his disappearance. Some of them are truly outrageous. The wild rumors that went nuclear. After everyone realized Prince Louis was missing from the balcony during Trooping 2024, the internet went wild. Within 48 hours, Twitter was buzzing with speculation about his disappearance. The hashtag #WhereIsPrinceLouis trended globally for 4 days, focusing solely on one missing 6-year-old. They sent him to a tough Swiss boarding school. This theory got a lot of attention. People named specific schools, such as La Rosie and Aglan, which cost £130,000 a year. Some claim to have seen a blurry photo of a blonde boy at Gestad Airport, saying it was Louis. That post got 1.2 million likes. He's autistic, and they are hiding him away. This theory disturbed many people. Parents of neurodivergent kids worried that the royal family was ashamed of Louis. They compared him to Prince John, who was kept away due to his epilepsy and autism. TikTok was full of parents expressing their fears. Kate is protecting him because she went through cancer treatment. This theory was the most comforting. It suggested that Louis struggled when his mom was sick and that Kate decided to keep him out of the public eye until he was older and she was healthy again. Many hoped this was true. William lost his temper and now Louis is scared of him. This darker theory suggested that William's anger affected Louis and that the boy flinched when his dad entered the room. It was grim, but it gained 400,000 likes. Then there were the wild ones. He's been replaced by a clone and he told his teacher that Harry is his favorite uncle and got sent away. One person even posted a photo of a child in a Tesco parking lot wearing a Spider-Man mask, claiming it was Louis on a secret trip with his nanny. Twitter Spaces discussions about his absence attracted 20,000 people, with many arguing whether this pointed to trouble in the Wales marriage. It was chaotic. And what did the palace do? They stayed silent for 18 months, letting all these rumors grow darker. Today, they finally released a statement that addressed everything. When you hear what they said, it makes all the wild theories seem pretty mild. The truth is much more shocking than anyone expected. The palace drops the bomb. 1 minute ago, Kensington Palace announced today at 14:07 GMT that Prince Louis will step back from public duties. For now, he will focus on a special educational program that will remain private. This program has been developed with guidance from child development experts and will help him with emotional control, situational awareness, and understanding public responsibilities. The decision comes from the Wales family, who want Prince Louis to grow and learn without the pressures of being in the spotlight, especially in the age of social media. They will share more updates when they are ready. This statement has raised concerns. It suggests that a 6-year-old boy was so affected by his public life that he needs to be removed from it to learn emotional control. It implies that the joy he shared with the public was seen as a problem that needed fixing. This is not a temporary decision. The phrase foreseeable future suggests we might not see Prince Louis again for a long time. Possibly not until he has changed significantly. This situation is both upsetting and frustrating. Now, I will break down the statement further to explain what it really means. When I do this, it may make you feel uneasy. What they are really saying. Let's break this down step by step. Kensington Palace says that Prince Louis will not take part in public activities for a while. This means he's gone. Possibly for good. Foreseeable future basically means we shouldn't expect him back anytime soon. He will focus on a private special education program. This indicates he's no longer in regular school. Instead, he is in a secret one-on-one program that nobody can see. This program is designed with help from child development experts. That means they've hired several therapists, expensive ones, to help him. The curriculum focuses on emotional control, understanding his surroundings, and the duties of public life. This part is alarming. They are teaching a 6-year-old to manage his feelings because he had a funny moment on a balcony. Situational awareness means he should avoid making faces in front of millions of viewers. Responsibilities that come with public life means he should remain still and look cute with no other expectations. This suggests they think his personality is not acceptable. The decision shows that the Wales family wants to give Prince Louis space to grow away from the pressures of social media. Here's the disturbing part. They are blaming the public. They seem to say, he was fine until you turned him into a meme. You shared his moments too much and made him too famous. Now we need to fix him privately so he can return to performing. They are using the idea of protecting his privacy to justify changing him. This isn't the first time this has happened. Prince John, the Queen's uncle, who had epilepsy and likely autism, was hidden away and stopped being photographed after the age of 8. He died at 13. And the family rarely mentioned him after. Narissa and Catherine Bosse-Lyon, the Queen's cousins, had severe learning disabilities. They were registered as dead while still alive in an institution during the 1940s to 1960s. The royal family has a long history of quietly sidelining those who don't appear perfect on camera. Now Louis is the modern version of this. This time though, he showed too much personality, not too little. They noticed how much people loved watching him be playful and decided that was a problem. So they took him away to be changed. When he returns, if he returns, he won't be the same lively boy. He'll be quiet, smiling on cue and standing still. We may lose the last real child in that family. Honestly, this situation is difficult to accept. Now you know what's happening. The next question is, what happens now? The future of Prince Louis. So where do we go from here? Since the statement came out, I see 4 realistic paths for Louis. 1. He returns in 2026 or 2027 looking polished and restrained, answering questions politely but lacking authentic expression. This is the most likely outcome. 2. He appears once or twice a year for significant events, carefully monitored by aides to ensure he behaves perfectly. It will feel like watching a hostage video. 3. Kate pulls him out of the public eye permanently, opting for homeschooling and an everyday life away from royal duties. This is hopeful but unlikely. 4. The truth is Louis became a project the moment that statement was released. He will return, but his sparkle will be gone and will pretend not to notice the change. My heart breaks for him. He just wanted to be a carefree boy. I've never felt this impacted by a royal video before. This isn't just about royal gossip. It's about a 6-year-old boy who brought joy during tough times and was seen as a problem. I urge you to write Louis in the comments. Let's flood the comments with his name, showing the palace how much we miss him. If you're as upset as I am, please like this video. Let's get to 1 million likes and make it clear this situation isn't right. Subscribe and turn on notifications for updates. Louis, remember that we cheered for you, not laughed at you. Don't let them take that away. See you in the following video.